Great afternoon to everybody. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Doctors. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on one of the best kept secrets on social media. Before we go to announcements, I see you in there, sis. You couldn't get on. If you can hear me, press one. If you can't hear me, if you can hear me, press one. Get this off. If you can, if you can hear me, press one. Okay, stay right there. I'm gonna put the link in the chat so you can get on. Nobody else cannot get on except Sister Fields. All right, I'm gonna put the link to the panel, um into the chat so you can get on. Then after that, yeah, I'm gonna take after that I'm gonna take it off. It's only for Sister Fields. That's it. Yo, you hit the link right there, Sister Fields. Oh, you backstage now? Try that. Then if not, you hit. Well, no, you just hit the link. Okay, hold on. Let me get this out. Remove. Bang. Okay.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
What's going on? See, now you're on camera. See, sometimes you don't be on camera. So I was like, well, I ain't got to be on the live camera today.
If you want to be on this, that's all right. It's no problem.
I appreciate that.
I work with you. You know what I'm saying? But they go people. Oh, why you don't want to? What? That's a people preference, you know. Now she's a right. Tell your husband I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing.
That is too funny. No, I just had my workout gear on. I was like, oh, well, they don't always be on camera.
No. Let me say, put this out there. You over here, you good.
Oh, I know. I just was like, sometimes I see people on camera and then other times I don't. So I was like, I don't want to be on camera today.
Because what happened was I was taking care of something. I had clothes. I was looking on casual. I was looking good. I was looking real good. But I said, I didn't, then I took the clothes, throw it on. It's all right. Next time, hopefully it'll be part two. That's me wrong. But let me get these announcements out the way. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. I see you, brother Art. Let me get you in a few seconds. To my underrated one family, the ones from the beginning, or the ones along the way. Thank y'all for throughout the years. I really appreciate that. Just keep on fighting for the truth and everything else. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to Brother McLean and his wife Tiffany and the rest of the brothers and sisters of No Duck Zone podcast. They're gonna have a fire cookout network up there somewhere in the Bronx. Please, most likely he's gonna do live on it. Please check that out. He's gonna have that in a few days and stuff. So shout out to him. Also, shout out to the mighty LDBC. That stands for Lions Den Box Community. Also, basketball community. Shout out to Brother 7-8 Sports TV, the general, the one who had started it. Started years ago, and I've been part of that, part of the family, he included now. So shout out to the mighty LDBCs that against that Lions Den Box Community and the other brothers and sisters in there. And you will see him on part two of the chop up very soon. He always confirming that, but I know he's a busy man, but so you're gonna see him, y'all gonna see him soon. It's definitely gonna be something. Again, welcome to my channel. This is Sister Cam Fields. We'll chop it up with me on the Darkness Roundtable. Let me before we bring her back on, let's Sister Trust. Thanks for coming. brother Art. Hey, that's the educator of our community, and even in the space. Thank you, peace, good brother. I got to get you again too, and everything. Reach out to you, so we got to do something. So shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother, brother Out the Style and everything. Matter of fact, I got to give you a call, so we got to talk. About things happen now. Now we're gonna bring back on the one and only Sister Canfields.
What's up, good brother? First, I just want to thank that brother Clarence, because that's how I actually met you on his channel.
Yes. Shout out to brother Clarence.
Yeah, definitely shout out to all of them. I do appreciate those brothers as well. So
yeah. I appreciate it, because he talked to me and said, "Yeah, I gotta get Sister Fields on there. You would like her, she's married and stuff." I said, "You know how some people, nah. I'll make sure that I'll put a plug in you." I said, "All right." So that's why now.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Now, let me explain to you what happened. We supposed to do a 135, but it was acting up last week. I was trying to get on 135, but 335, but understand. So let's do it today, 335. Bang. So we here now. Sorry for the inconvenience last week.
It happens. It happens. I was more concerned about your safety and welfare. I mean, technology can't always be predicted. So
yeah, sometimes people feel understand that sometimes social media have mind their own.
That part. It does.
They had mind their own. They didn't want to go. They don't want to go. That's what happened last week.
Yeah. Yeah. You almost feel like you're at their discretion and their mercy at times.
And then at the same time, before we continue, and I felt real bad because that's not me. You know what I mean? I don't operate that way, and I feel real bad. I was looking forward for it, but that's a week ago.
Yes,
it is. Right now, we got you. We're good now.
We were good then, Yeah,
we good then. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We good.
We good.
We good. Exactly.
I don't have those issues like that. So
good. Now I'm explaining to people it's a chop up. So she gonna have questions for me too.
I sure do.
She got questions. So you got any question you want. You don't have to be the line of questions. You guys have any question you want. Now let me ask you a question. How long you can stay?
How long is it typically? How long do you do chop?
It doesn't make a difference.
Is it like 30 minutes?
No, it'd be like some people stay 3 hours, 2 hours, an hour. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, yeah, even my lives, I don't I've never had them longer than an hour. So we'll just go for it. We don't have to.
Okay, we go. All right, we gonna do it like this.
You can just
at the 25, 30 minute mark. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna let people know whatever questions they want to ask.
Yeah, definitely.
They go and ask within the 25, 30 minute mark. Definitely. And so this was before we continue. This is how I do. This is how I do it, and I stand on it. Now, any question that the people in the chat put in, I'm going to screen it. Now, if I feel it's not appropriate to ask, I'm not going to ask it. Now, I will leave that to Sister Fields. Now, if you want to do it, okay, but that's how I run it.
I appreciate that.
That's all about
protection as well.
So we're just letting you know. So she said, I don't feel that. That's how it is.
No,
that's how we do it.
I'll be honest about that. I'll let you know. Yeah.
Got you. Thank you. Now, again, you guys, question you want to ask, feel free. But the first question I want to ask, was born and raised in Virginia?
Yes, I am. I'm originally from Virginia. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Get out of here. Okay.
You seem so shocked, bro.
Nah, because you don't sound.
Oh, okay. So I've received that several times. And if my mommy happens to join, then she would be able to attest to this. So I grew up with my grandparents and my mommy in the country. And beautiful farm. So, I enjoyed both sides of, being in the country and then moving in, living the rest of my days growing up in an inner city. But I say that to say that my grandmother was from up north, and dialect, pronunciation, all of those things were really, really important to her. Not speaking too fast, and the list goes on. So it's amazing because my mother gets that as well. Yeah. And we're like, no, we're from Virginia, always lived in Virginia, but that's all we can attribute it to be honest, bro.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
another question along the
Yes.
way.
Yes.
Your grandmother, you told me your grandma from the north. Do you mind I ask you what part of the north she's from?
So her mommy ended up going to New York.
Oh,
She was in Baltimore, down near Turner Station.
okay.
And to this day, a lot of my family, New York, Philadelphia, DC, Maryland, and the list goes on. Delaware,
I got family in Delaware too.
Jersey, New Jersey. So yeah, that's all we have assumed it to be because my mother was raised the same way. And so then of course she and my grandmother were really funny about that.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Has your father has been involved in your life?
So I did meet my father once I was an adult. Um, some things, happen in life, and he was not able to be there in a way that he felt would be beneficial. But I'm so grateful that I had a village around me, and I mean, the aunties, the uncles, all of that. I was raised with all of that, and I was also grateful that before his death, 8 years ago, I was able to forgive, move on, and love him just where he was, if that makes sense. So
That make a lot of sense. I'm
yeah,
glad that you asked that question too.
yeah.
Before I ask, you got married. The question I want to ask you: why is so important as a Black woman to have strong male figures in
Yes,
the village? Because I heard you talk about that a few times on the channel,
correct,
right?
correct.
So what happened was, well, it appeared to me and Clarence was talking,
Hmm.
and and he was like, yeah, I said, I want to have her come, not just pick your brain, but everything. But I'm saying, I would say this, like I say, ask me any question you want about me is fine. But
Right.
I want to ask this question because it's very suddenly that I hear Black women that maybe their father was not in their life to maybe later on, like you say, you forgive, but you say the village. And there's nothing taken away from the aunts. And I want people to understand that. I don't know. It's nothing taken away from the grandmothers, aunts, and all that. I just want to focus right now, answer this question about
Yes,
that you say have strong male figures,
yes,
male figures in your family in
correct.
the village. Now, explain people why it's very, very important to have that of the growth that we become an adult.
Well, okay, I'll explain it from both perspectives. So first, coming from my personal experience, and then the second will be just from my clinical experience, right? So my personal experience, it actually shaped me. It shaped a healthy, balanced worldview. Um, it cultivated me because I was receiving validation from both men and women in my family who I looked up to, who were great role models for me. Then it gave me a different level of confidence and expectation when I journeyed out alone as an adult, if that makes sense. And even a lot of decisions I made growing up, I think I would have made more not so wise decisions if I did not have, those strong male role models surrounding me. Now, from a
Okay.
clinical perspective, what I have seen in a lot of young ladies that have been admitted to the facility where I provide therapy at, they are still searching for that love that they're missing from a father, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's because they did not have, they had the love of their mommies and, and aunties and grandmothers, but they were still lacking in that, that father figure that had positive impact, because words matter. As my big brother BFTB always says, words matter. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, cool. Now, another question is now, as you growing up, you went to college and stuff, the service?
No, I wasn't in any military.
Got you. Okay.
College though, yes.
Got you. Now
Yeah.
we're gonna get to the good part here.
I don't know what the good part is. Okay.
We're gonna get to the good part. Now, how long have you been married, if you don't mind I ask?
Well over a decade. So,
well over a decade. Okay, we're gonna say well over a decade.
Yep.
There's any kids involved,
They're adults, so they look at me as a bonus mother because I've been there since they were much younger. So it's girl and boy. And,
okay.
It's been just a beautiful thing. You don't really see that in the Black family where they can work in such healthy ways. So,
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
You don't really see that.
No, we don't. We really don't, and we don't. Well, I talk about it on my channel, but your channel, but but the rest of people, some people do talk about it, but it's not spreading. It should be, because
Right.
when they talk about marriage, I can say I was married for almost 10 years.
Okay. Yeah,
So I know. I believe in longevity, working out, stuff like this. I had examples, but I'm just putting it out there, whatever you want to ask for. Now, another question that I want to ask you that is very important: why marriage is not essential? We can say throughout humanity, but we're gonna stick in our community, because you remember when we was coming up, marriage is important. You start your own family, you start your own path, and you had examples, and you really committed to those vows, to sickness, doing health, and all that. Now, in your perspective, right, you could talk behalf of your husband if you want. Why your marriage is working? First,
why is it working? I would say a lot of reasons. The biggest thing is recognizing that as much as people want to assume that there will not be any speed bumps, they're gonna come, and it's just recognizing that, the love that you have for someone is much stronger than that speed bump, because in the moment, the speed bump may seem like it's a mountain, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And also another question is too, that when it leads to marriage, you be in a relationship, and then after that, the process be in being engaged. Now, the question I want to ask you is this: that why it's so important to go through those processes? Because I'm asked that question before you ask that. I asked that question because there's quite a few people, I'm gonna say throughout humanity, besides our community, that there are outsiders involved, and it seems like even to get before you get to the marriage, even you get before engaged, relationships not lasting, because it's always like things happen, the outsiders and stuff.
Yeah, they're influenced.
Bad influence, And hey, what's going on, Miss Shona Knight? Miss Shona Knight, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. And I just want to ask that question. Why? Now, matter of fact, let me switch up the question. Now, I'm going to ask that question maybe a little later on. why is it important of your marriage, you and your husband marriage. So shout out to the husband, shout out to everybody in your family. Let them know. Shout out to them.
I appreciate that.
Shout out to them. Definitely. I want to ask you, why is so important in your marriage to keep the outside, the influence, keep the marriage close?
Well, I mean, if you have built a strong foundation between you and that person that you are with, you and him or you and her, y'all are the team. You don't need the second string to come in. And that's the way I look at outsiders. You don't need to be pulling this one in. You don't need to be going to this one for advice. You don't need to reach out to this one anytime that there's discord. And I think what has happened is people get married, and instead of clinging to that one that they have, made this commitment to, they basically bring everybody else into the marriage, if that makes sense.
Make a lot of sense.
And it begins to taint that which is pure. And I really think it's a lot of social media influence. I think, even I can only speak just from being a woman, and the fact that we see more women that, don't want to be led. And if that is your, stance, and if it works for you in your household, then so be it. Like, I'm not going to judge anybody's household. I don't pay your bills, but that doesn't work for me. It never has. That's not the way I was brought up. And so it's a lot of different things like that I'm seeing now.
Okay, now, again, you guys even question you want now. Just letting you know, I ask questions now. You got questions, ask.
You let me know when I can start asking questions.
Huh?
You let me know when I can start asking.
No, you ain't no specific time. Just ask.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No specific time. Just ask.
So a lot of the questions you asked me at the beginning, I already remember your answers from listening before. So if you want to answer, what would you say is the important thing in your opinion when it comes to marriage and keeping that thing tight?
As me was married at one time, almost 10 years, I think the most important thing that the spouse has to be top priority.
I'm hearing you.
It has to be top priority. There's no ifs and buts about it, but it also goes back of courting, right? You gotta exercise it. You gotta understand even then. So when you go through the process of being engaged into marriage, I'm not gonna say it ain't gonna be easy, but at least that you have the foundation. And so for me, there's people saying that, oh, the opposite sex, get together. Sometimes it's not true. Sometimes y'all can bounce off a lot of ideas, do things alike, but you have to make time for yourself. I think that's just a key thing. You have to be selfish. I know people say, oh, I want alone time and stuff. That's cool. Not saying nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you should always look after, like, I can't wait to see my baby. Man, I can't wait, you be like, yeah, you talk to somebody, jump. I can't want to see my baby. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one. That's your best friend. And then so people fail to understand this too, that even the relationship, right, that work up to be the marriage, that person is your best friend. Now, I know people don't like to hear that, but it's true. Yeah. That is your best friend, not your family, not your best friends, even your kids. And but now there's some people say that, but it depends how you was raised. But see, this is what I'm saying. But understand a marriage. Understand of a committed relationship, because there are some people feel that in a committed relationship, right, that they still single when things don't work out. No, you commit to that person. You're not single no more because you're working towards being married. So people understand that, no, you're not single. There are some people that check, oh, I'm single because I don't want that, because they don't want to let certain things go from outside. See, I learned, I had, like I said, I have examples of both sides of my late mother's side and my late father's side. They had marriages last like 30, 40, 50 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I seen about longevity. And I know it wasn't easy, but I used to see a motherfucker like, huh? Be like, but they understand, you understand, hey, you're a child, stay in the child's place. You need some counsel, we're gonna sit you down talking about what's going on. To be a helper. My mom said, you need a woman to be a helper. It doesn't make her less than, but you need a woman that's going to be there to help you and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So you got to learn how to clean. Sometimes she gets sick. You got to learn how to clean and cook. Besides paying the bill, clean up, run the household. You hear what I'm saying? It's not just, she said, it's not just paying bills. Know your chores and stuff. Make sure to get the things fine and everything, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so I learned that when I was very, very young. And so when I was coming up and everything, when I see certain things going on, it just, as I look at it, I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be like, nah. And then, but see, when you got some people saying, I understand, all due respect, that's how they run it. I ain't judging, but my thing is, like, certain things, you gotta pick a side. Do you want this to work or you don't want it to work? You gotta pick a side. And so I found out for me that people make stuff, they make the sanctity of marriage bad or engagement bad or relationship bad, because we gotta understand we're dealing with people that's, people say they not raised that way, but if you're not raised that way, you need to be around people that also believe it too. And that helps me out a lot, because I've been around. See, I had best friends, right?
Right.
That was single. Their mothers were single, right? Single parent. But what makes them different, right? They make sure they always surrounded by male figures that are married. Maybe so they could see that. Now, and so I was around that too. I was around single parent too. So, and so for me, it's like, people like, that's what, like, get back to you when you say you was married. I was like, yeah, that's all right, and you're sticking it out and everything. And I think that is very, very important when you have kids. They say, oh yeah, this was all about, because sometimes they be around, oh, how are your parents? They love each other. They stick it out. What do you expect? I don't really see. I don't know what to tell you. And some of them, they adopted my late mother, my late father as to be their second parents. So for me, when you talk about the village, I acknowledge that, because it was a village. I'm not saying it was easy for me coming up from a 2-parent household. No, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It was not easy.
Correct.
But at the same time, by me looking back, I'm glad I got that counsel when I was very young, because it helped me in my adolescent years. Also, it helped me. I made some mistakes. I did. Don't get me wrong. I did make some mistakes, but I made mistakes, and I'm here to say right now that whatever relationship I was in, it never made me better, because I had that teaching, I had that counsel when I was very, very, very young, and so it helped me right now. So I advise people that that's what you believe, and that's what you believe, but understand that when you get in a relationship, it's not about you no more. It's about us. And you better understand it. You better have these conversations. And you have to understand, listen, I'm your best friend. Because I learned that from my late parents. I'm your best friend now. I don't know what it is, because my mom and my parents said, when you get married, we secondary. Yeah? Yeah. That's your best friend. Because y'all can start a family. You hear what I'm saying? We there from assistance wherever you need. And so I just for me, it's like instead of we go forward, we go backwards. And it's just, and we could blame people, but the way how society is right now, I don't like it. I just really don't. Now, do I think there are some great marriages out there? Yes. But they don't want to talk about it. They always want to talk about money and stuff like that, and how things change and everything, the courts and everything. But that is another live and stuff like that. To answer your question, I know I'm long-winded. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're not long-winded. You definitely answered the question. And just to expound upon that, the world we live in looks a lot different than the world I saw growing up, right? Children have more access to things. Adults, have more access to things. Technology. You were saying you had friends and you were able to see your friends, and you may have different role models that were in your life. I feel like now people's friends have become technology. It's not actual human connection.
No, it's not.
If it be that an individual, was raised in that mindset and from children on up to adulthood, then I'm not surprised that they may not even understand the impact of being the best friend to your partner, the impact of knowing what it really means to have that human connection and that intimate relationship. It does not surprise me at all. It's almost become a business when I hear some people talk about marriage, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's a good point, because I was ask you this question, but you already answered. Now, do you have any brothers and sisters?
I do. So I'm the oldest, and I have 6 brothers, no sisters. Yeah.
So you spoiled.
Oh goodness, that is such. Don't put that jacket on me. I'm loved a lot, my brother. I'm just loved a lot.
I gotta throw a little something. It's nothing but love.
I'm just loved a lot.
That's all right though. But that's all right because you did talk about the village, and I think that what I get from it, that despite what certain thing wasn't happening, you always had a village, and that's why like you are what you are. And I feel like for me, us as black men, we don't see that many sisters like that. We don't. It's all about, you see, the business. I'm not talking about black women. I'm just saying I'm not gonna do that. But it's like, how my mom's has a saying: when a woman is easy on the eye, and you got the certain look, that's something to think about. But when she said that they not easy on the eye, oh God, no, turn away.
And that's hilarious.
That's true. And it's like, what do you mean, mom? What do you mean, grandma? When you get older, you find out, and it's true. And it's not like outer, inside. Like, be like, outside. You can go with it. Nah, no. So I learned a lot from women, because on my late mother's side, right, it's nothing but women. We had men. Don't get me wrong. It's wrong. It's women, and these are strong women, and some of them was married. You know what I'm saying? And they under the tools of my great grandmother, aunt, mother. So
right.
So they show us going, we women with it. I mean, let me show you to look out for. I know you can't figure us out. You're never gonna figure us out. I ain't trying to figure no out. The women is like a puzzle. You never gonna figure them out. You just gotta be detailed. Be detailed. But be detailed. You just don't. I mean, like, you look at it like, okay. You look, yeah. I get it. They laugh at me because I remember they telling me, but most of my first cousins are women. So they say, hey, who be you look out for this now. You look out for that. That ain't cool, you know. And I'm glad. And this when I was very young. And I'm happy for that, you know, when I got older and stuff, you know. So when I see certain things going on, I think, I don't believe you. What are we talking about? Well, you know, I don't know nothing. What are you talking about? You gotta talk to me. It makes sense to me. I don't know how to put. I'm not a good puzzle put together, but I can put together some things here. And what you saying? And my mom used to always say, "What you saying? It's not added right."
Yeah, the math is a mathin'.
Yeah, it's don't add it right, you know. So, but I was taught that, and so, you know, so, and then yeah, I'm gonna tell you a certain when I met you, you remind me of stuff. You remind me of that a little bit. Yeah. So that's rewarding too. Now, another question that I want to ask you, is this that we see dumbness on social media. You agree with that, right?
Yep.
Doesn't make no sense. And as you being a content creator, right? What you want to see more positive?
Well, the beauty in that though is I can avoid, you know, it's up to me to kind of click on something and whether or not I want to engage in it. But yeah, it would be good to have a good balance. I think a lot of times the content that's out there where individuals are more positive doesn't get placed in the algorithm as much because it's out there. It's just you almost have to like search and search to find just, you know, positivity. I listen to Junior the Truth a lot. And, you know, he definitely can be quite positive and motivational speaking and dropping gems, if you will. And then there's others that I don't know who they are. It just pops up because, you know, it gets in my algorithm. But yeah, you almost have to search to find those types of things.
Got it. Okay. And also, why it's so important to have strong female figures in your family and plus in our community?
Well, for me, like I said, they shape the part of me that is God gifted, that is nurturing. They model for me what nurturing looks like. They modeled for me what being a lady looks like. The importance of having standards, the importance of governing yourself in a certain way that is with respect. Well, you know what I'm saying? Those things matter and they continue to matter to me. They built these values. Some of them, you know, I don't hold on to as much because it doesn't really align. I get it from the time they were coming from. But on the other hand, I think values, they dropped a lot of influential and values that really shaped me, how I look at other people, the fact that I do my best to meet people where they are and not so much of looking down on anybody or thinking of myself higher than I ought to. So.
Got it. Yes, yeah, truck facts. Yeah. Okay. Any question you want to ask, you can cut on in. Don't worry about it. Don't wait at a certain time now. That's not go with that. Just go ahead and ask them.
That's so funny. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say another question I have is because you do have an array of topics.
Yes.
And I would want to know, what is your favorite topic? I mean, I've seen you talk about sports. I've seen you talk about boxing. I've seen you, where you chime in different chats and all of that. And so I want to know, what's your favorite topics? What do you enjoy the most?
I feel I'm a jack of all trades. It depends.
Okay. Okay, I'm hearing you.
It really depends. Like I told people, you go don't. I always told people this. Just don't go just 1 or 2 years. You gotta go real deep with my channel. I did have a sport. I did sports in one time, brother. Yes, so shout out to Chief Stay Sleep TV. I did sports. This sports show. I do mukbangs. I do people sit down. My thing is deep. My stuff. My thing is so much diverse, and I could say it. I back it up because I experienced it.
Right. Right.
So.
Right. No, I'm hearing you.
So I'm one of the few channels I could say is very diverse because that's how I am. I'm versatile, but I could back it up because I experienced it. Even I talk about my life experience to help people. Sometimes I go in depth with it.
Right.
There are some people, they don't take it.
Right.
And it's cool.
Of course, they have that right. Of course.
They have that right. But I'm just saying I pour myself out to help them and everything. So I'm very diverse, So when you that's an excellent question. It really, how you put it, it's an excellent question. It depends what like I could do a man show. You know what I mean? I could go, okay, I can do a man show, or I could just talk about I got sports and politics. Matter of fact, I got quite a few series on my channel. Now I gotta go deep and finish that up.
Right. I
ain't even tap that, but sometimes I leave that because now I just want to do chop up and interviews, as you see lately. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's what you're enjoying right now.
I enjoy right now, and interviews. I got pretty good at it. People
right.
Like, hey, not pretty good. I said, oh, you doing all right. That's what I want to do. So. It's what I'm gonna get the boxing. Definitely, I'm gonna get the boxing soon, and I definitely want you to be part of that panel too. Yeah, I think it's very important to have women. So like that. It's like sometimes, like I see you in the certain boxing thing, and I see Brother McClain. He's doing this thing. He one of the few that keeps it pure. Brother D Freeze and stuff. But there are some. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't go.
Yeah.
I know boxing.
Yeah.
But I don't go.
No, I definitely respect that. It's the boxing channels that I'm typically, it's few of them that I'm always at. And it's my therapy, providing therapy full time, we have to have an outlet as well.
Yeah.
It's my therapy to just be able to go in and almost shoot the shit, if you will, and not have that level of responsibility that I do carry in my 9 to 5, if you will. So
yeah. So I think it's very important. I know there's people that talk about the same thing all the time. That's why I'm versatile. I'm very diverse. So I could just I could just for instance, there's something is going on. Like they had this lady, she was upset that she was in court that the court order they turn the kids to the father to be the custodian. Find out she unalived them just for that. That's wild. Like a big story. Yeah, so that's like a little story. I've heard that on TikTok. I heard it somewhere else, and I was going to do that, but I thought about it. I'd rather have women on the panel too, because that is sensitive. Now people gonna say that, oh, what's up with that? I'm telling you right now, that's wrong. You hear what I'm saying? And I could say it's wrong because it don't make a difference if you're a man or a woman. You gotta say it's wrong. It's wrong. You just cannot be gender based. I'm talking about a man or woman. If I know it's wrong, it's wrong. It ain't all about my perspective. If I'm seeing it and you say it's right, Why you say it's right? And you got how you could. I look at people. Sometimes they let their gender get in the way. I don't let my gender get in the way. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, right or wrong doesn't have a gender.
It doesn't have a gender. That's what I'm saying. And so when people getting their feelings and stuff, so this wrong. So I'll talk to a brother, and I wanted to do it. I want to do some more digging of the story, and I want to, and I hopefully I can get you to, because it's got to be a man and woman on the panel. It got to be. So it can be fair. So it won't be, oh, you do this to women, or men do it to men, women do it to men. Nah, so that's my diverse come in. Right. I see certain situations. I want men and women. Let's be in the panel. Let's talk about it. Let's be as a family to talk about it. Because sometimes I don't want to just be talking just men all the time. I want to hear women perspective. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about women all the time. Let's have some men. Let's have a mixture of it. But it's just the sad thing, just people when it comes down to it, it's like you just pulling teeth and think. But it's cool though. What it is, what it is.
Sometimes that's the best way to say it. It is what it is, right?
What is what it is.
Well, I would love to see if anybody, I don't know how many people are still in here with us, but if they have any questions, even if it's psychology questions, I would love to hear.
Yeah, drop your comments in the chat, please. Drop your questions in the chat. You want to ask her, please drop your comments in the chat. And while you asking me some more questions, I ask you some more questions. But there is another questions about it. How do you feel about Virginia politics?
It's interesting you asked that, because I was just thinking about something not too long ago. And because the political climate can be quite stressful for a lot of people, right? I focus more on state because that's what impacts me closely.
Yes.
I will be honest. It's some things, I agree with, and it's others, I'm like, I think we could do better. Like, I love the fact that we did receive a lot of money for those with disabilities and mental health and things like that, because that has been a big problem, especially since they just released everyone years ago from all of these state hospitals into the streets.
Yeah.
A lot of them were Black people.
Yes.
And, so it's a lot of things like that I pay attention to. But to get into the nitty gritty, of course, no, I don't agree with everything. But yeah. What about you? Because you live, you live towards like the Norfolk, that area.
In Virginia?
Yes.
Virginia reminds me of New York. I say why? Because when it comes to homeless, I see nothing but people of color, and I'm talking Black and Hispanic. And I know people going to talk about, what about the race and all that? And I'm not, for me in the state, I think states could do better. Me being here almost 13 years and stuff, and it's like, for me, it's like, if we said that we love each other,
right,
we should see past these people. These people, they nuisance and stuff like that. And then it just, for me, that we again, listen. I want people to understand. You get what I'm saying. I'm not saying animals don't have a place in God's eyes. They do. Okay. Let me acknowledge that. Right.
Right.
They do. But there's quite a few animal shelters, hospitals around Virginia. But what about shelters for men and women? And I know people go like, well, we care for dogs. I'm not saying animals are not important. I want people to understand that.
But they're not more important than human lives, period.
And it troubles me. I mean, it really irks me that I haven't getting these conversations. So I said, so that life is better. And so for me, it's that you have room to build, to get people. They say you don't want people off the streets and stuff. You say your money, you can't. You say your money going to that, but I'm just saying why you don't go to meetings to enforce and make sure they get the good care. I'm not talking about no wiki did care, but the care that they need so they could be successful. Even they cannot function in society, but at least they at their facility, they could feel like they feel human being, that they humanity counts. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I have something to add once you finish that as well. Yeah,
and so for me, it's like I had these conversations throughout the years, even New York, and it's like for me, it's like it gets to right now. It's that I don't, I want to talk about it, but we're dealing with people that don't care. So don't give me no double talk to me. You're being a hypocrite now. And so when you see ladies, right, with kids, bags full, 4 or 5 kids, right? When you see couples have their kids trying to feed them, you know what I'm saying? It do something to me. Because everybody think, oh, it's somebody, sometimes it be couples with their kids, Just make sure keep the family together of impossible conditions. So sometimes if I have a little extra, I get them food,
Correct.
So I respect their humanity.
Correct.
And and so for me, when I talk like that, I mean, when people talk, I say, sometimes you need to shut up. Be quiet. If you're not gonna do nothing, just be quiet. Because you never know, you might have somebody in your family you want somebody to care for. But see, sometimes we don't think something like that. You go ahead, sis.
Yeah, just to just elaborate just a little bit, because something that came to me was I work for local government in my position and what I do. And what I have found with being so close and understanding how these monies are allocated, they are actually allocated based off of your jurisdictions, your various counties and cities, and who is actually doing the work and applying for it. So like back home where I'm originally from, I told you, I grew up until about 5 years old in the country. Then I moved to the inner city. Back in Petersburg, it's inner city. I mean, very seldom are you going to even run into someone that is not Black. I mean, it's inner city. And you see everything, including the violence that you just named. And I don't see anymore, but on, I hope. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, the city I'm from, the problem is the lazy asses that are in these positions, such as social work, such as CSBs, community services boards, the people that are making the decisions and whether or not they're going to apply for these grants. It's like, basically, I don't know, because I'm not saying verbatim they say this, but their actions seem like that's too much work to do all of that. And then I look at where I work at. And when I tell you, brother, like we have like 6 housing vouchers, stuff that people have never heard of in Virginia. And people get housed. They can get housed. So say, for instance, if one of the parents have a disability, okay? Their entire family can be housed just because of that. And it's so many programs out there, and it just really, it irks me. I'm gonna be real with you, because the community is like, why the hell are all these homeless people out here? Why are these families suffering like this? And then being one of the people that are on the inside and seeing how it's done, I'm like, it's not that the money isn't there. You are just too damn lazy to apply for your people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem, a big problem. And it's so sad that these services are there, and I'm seeing so many people helped because the area I'm in, they want to do the work. They're not lazy. And then I look back home and I'm like, y'all just don't even care. And so, yeah, like the local churches, the church I'm in, you find a lot of churches doing a lot of outreach. Our barbershops, they do a lot of outreach to make up for the lack thereof within the government, the local government, that is. So just a different spin on it, because like I said, I'm just telling you as an insider as to what I know is happening.
Got you. Oh, there's a
as much. So
I got you. Because I want to ask you one question about after I answer this. Brother Nameless, Shati, he said, in the absence of trust, do you believe relationships, be they romantic, platonic, familiar, chameleon, and cultural, can exist outside of communified content?
Okay,
If so, how?
Okay. Hold on, let me get to this portion so I can see something.
Matter of fact, I can highlight if you want.
So I just want to make sure that I don't like making assumptions, and y'all blame that on the fact that I do provide therapy. And so I don't like assuming. The nameless one I'm saying now,
yes.
Are you speaking of like, can they exist almost outside of like a commercialized context? Is that what we're saying? Can you kind of give me an example or elaborate? I definitely will share my perspective with you. I appreciate you asking that.
Okay, I just highlighted. So okay, no problem. I gotta take it off like that. But another question to ask, because I live in Hampton Roads area, right? And I could say this, that for me, what I start looking at, and I know that I could help other people. I said, yeah, they had this, and they don't happen. They have programs. Because this one lady, she pulled me aside. Now they just tell certain ones. Like if they have family members, they tell them about it. They're supposed to be out in the public, but they don't want to.
Oh, that's messed up.
So sometimes it make it seem. I'm gonna get to that. She said it make it seem that people don't care. They just tell certain ones. She said because she told me what's going on. Did you, Mr. Thomas? I said yeah. I said yeah. You didn't know about it? I said no. And so she said, well, when I'm telling you this, because I know I'm gonna be fired soon or later anyway, but they don't say nothing about it. They keep them on themselves, family, or they know some social worker stuff like that. Those are stuff I had to actually fight for it. And even there are some of them don't even want to work. But they ain't not. But you serving our community though, locally, right? But you know that's another live. So they put this question up there so you can see it.
I see it. I got it. Thank you so much. So this is really, really cool. And hold on. Because of how overused those terms may be used and done in good faith. Okay. I got you. I got you. I love it. And you actually giving me some ideas on some content going forward. So I appreciate you asking this question. How would you define trust? So what does trust mean to you? And I'm speaking I believe, is this a brother or a sister?
Yeah, he's a brother, yes.
Okay, brother. How would you define what is trust to you? Because you're saying if we take trust out, yeah, I would want to know what trust, how you see it.
Yeah, but go back on that. So when that was happening, so I saw some, so I was taking care of business. So let me go check out some things and come to find that shit they in the fire. Wow. Oh, you know, she caused ruckus and stuff. So yeah, I bet you do, right? Mm-hmm. They say, what do you mean? I know the system a little bit, you know. When somebody speak up against the system, you know, you know. So she said, oh, well, you know, oh, you. So there was one black one. She was very disrespectful, but I hold my tongue. So, but you know what though? I'm explaining some. But you talk about God, and you hold that Bible, right? Are you upholding what God said? I'm just asking a question. Now you want to keep on, and then it was like some men. I'm being honest. It was some men. You know, let's say they're on the fun side. I'm just gonna put it out. No, but you know what? I finished that. I'm gonna put this up there so you can answer. I finished mine after this.
All right. So, in my personal opinion, no, I don't think that we can actually have any level of relationship without authentic trust. For me personally, without it becoming, you know, commercialized, right? Commodified. That's just my perspective. I know that within my own culture, just being Black, and I can't speak for everyone, but in a general sense, we are not the most trusting people anyway. And if that trust is not there, the absence of it, I'm going to be totally honest that no matter the level of the relationship, it can definitely end up being artificial, where I'm just going through the motions, i.e., I think of colleagues at work. Because outside of what I do and we do that is of similarity, I don't relate to them. So for me, it's, can I even relate in some way? You know, but that's just my perspective. I'm big on that, bringing work home anyway. And so I don't want to have friendships outside of work. I don't think it's healthy for me in a sense. But I would love to hear, you know, just your perspective. But that's, for me, trust is a big thing. And yeah, regardless of the relationship, I can't see it working without having that.
So, okay.
I hope that kind of makes sense, brother. But I would love to hear yours as well. All right.
Okay. Another question is that we talk about trust and stuff like that. Do you think that that's why we deal with any relationships that trust is not there?
Say that again.
Talk about trust, right?
Correct.
Do you think that's why relationships there's not no trust there? Because maybe it's the upbringing, or you be around people that don't trust at all, or what do you think?
I'm going to share something with you, and I'm just going to drop this real quick because it expounds upon just the way that my worldview was shaped growing up. And my family used to always say to me, you know, when you're dating and all of these things, be mindful that your backgrounds kind of coincide. Okay. And it wasn't until I became an adult that I realized why they said it, because I'm totally honest with y'all. I didn't always listen to everything that was told to me.
Right.
I mean, you know, some things you learn, right? You make not so great choices, and then the lesson is learned, hopefully, the first time. But I say this to say that if you link with someone who already has a ton of baggage that they are dragging behind them that you may not be able to see with the naked eye, if you will, and they have all of these, what I think the buzzwords, they'll say trust issues, right? You don't see it. But if you hang around a little longer, then it will begin to, you know, slowly show itself. And sometimes some people come into relationships with those issues because they were unresolved from previous relationships. So not only are you in a relationship with this current partner, but now you are having to deal with the other relationships who are not physically there. It's almost like this remnant of a relationship that they still wear on them. And so trust, yeah, it definitely is a big thing in a relationship. And then another way we can look at it too, brother, is it is not up to me to mother someone. Like, I'm not going to be the person's like, oh, I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know. Because if I have to do that, then there is no trust. My expectation is out of respect and just courtesy. Some things you're going to let me know anyway, right? So what do you think?
No, I agree. I agree. I do agree, because I think if you're true, it's always up to upbringing and stuff. But then you're gonna have some people that, well, that's the way I was raised, and that's the way what it is. But I just tell them like this: that's but when you become an adult, you should know for right or wrong, right?
That part should,
right? Should. A big should, right?
And some still remain ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I'm speaking of the actual definition. They just don't know any better.
Or they just do not want to do.
That can be it as well. Yep.
And so that's what I look, because that's what I'm saying, that when I learned, right? I mean, ask me questions, please do. Ask questions about me, because I want to engage, you know. And so the thing is that what I learned, I said, listen, we giving you the gems, we're giving you tools. So it shouldn't be anything I don't want to do it, because we're doing the best we can to know from right or wrong. And so we can elaborate on that, but we're gonna brother Nameless right there. Here it is.
Yep. I was listening to you and I just typed in the chat.
No, that's all right. No, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to read that because he just put that up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Financial investment. Almost like I said earlier, business, a contract.
So,
yeah.
So that's the thing that yeah. And I think that sometimes though, when we had conversations like this, there's people say, I really don't know definition. You definitely know what's going on definition. You just do not want to grow. Because when you with that person, right? Let's take out the financial part of it. You know, you get to know that person organically, right? On the human side.
Correct.
And that go back to the vows. What I'm talking about, that deals with humanity. And so people refuse to separate that. They think everything. I said it wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like when it comes that you gotta learn to separate it, the immune side of it, the humanity side of it, and the financial part, because you know, and so that's why, like, sometimes when you have people, I hear people talking like, what is you talking about? You know, and so I think for us is sometimes we bring like quite a few definitions. I mean, unrealistic definitions. We go by sometimes drama or pain and stuff like that. That's what I always say. Then you bring the pain and you bring whatever's going on in here, and then they say for better and for worse. What do you mean for better or worse? And so when you have that attitude, I think that that you should get yourself together first and understand that, again, why get married? That is my family. Oh, that's what people on my job. Oh, that's what it is. You refuse to understand this. That is your best friend. You hear what I'm saying? Do you understand the vows totally what it is? Now, people now, but there's another thing about religion talking about God. There are some people don't believe in God. So now there's another, we gotta take on another side of it, that there are some people don't realize the vow. Listen, this is what it is. There are some people talking about it's just a paper. So there's a lot of things have thrown out there that people, man, goes for man or woman, that sometimes that we just have to all about common sense. And I think that at the end of the day, if you love that person, you find a way to work it out. And so, but it's going to take two to work. It takes two to become as one. And so when you have other outside identities comes into the picture, I don't care what you believe in, it's always going to be a shaky ground. It's always going to be something toxic or comes with that, because we're dealing with broken people who want to stay to be broken. And then we have to understand that there are people that there are some bad people, maybe there's some they don't know. But as what your work that you do, to be better, you got to do better. So you have to take a good look at yourself. Say, I got some ugliness about me that I want to change to be better. That means you got to do grown up things. That means you have to transform yourself within and understand that, yeah, if I want a better relationship, or I want this, it's got to come from me. But a lot of people don't want to just they just, excuse my language, they just want to be half-ass about it instead of just do the work, because you know what, I'm talking from personal experience. Okay, I had my heart broken. You know what I'm saying? I had women that hit me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I had to take a good look at myself, or what my self-value is. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, before I let this happen, I wasn't raised this way. I never put a hand on a woman in my life, but I wasn't raised this way. That was not tolerated on both sides of my family. Goes a man or woman, you keep your hands to yourself. Or you walk out or cool off, then you don't do that, because that one hit could kill a person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Exactly. And what you going to say then, man or woman? And so we have to understand that sometimes it comes about common sense, and and these people do not want to come to common sense. Let me put this up there for brother nameless here. Just reading
Yep. I read that. Yep. The barometer. Yep.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so for me, it's just we had to learn that you need to take a good look at it, and also you got to understand the atmosphere that you're around too. You just cannot say I want to do right, but you still got negative people around you, and don't check you do what you do what's wrong too. And I had to learn that when I was younger because I fell into that too. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. We family, right? Right, Sister Kim?
Exactly.
We fam. So I can, let me show my face. I'm fam. You know what I'm saying? But I learned when I was younger, I had to learn it quick. Hold up. And everybody's do not have the best of your interests of being better. And you got to cut them off.
That is the smartest thing to do. We can talk about that at another time though, because I definitely will also share the other side of it. And
so before we continue, so you say it could be a part 2?
oh, you are so funny, Andre. You funny. You was like, so it can be a part 2. Definitely, it can be a part 2, fam.
Matter of fact, this is what you do right now before we continue. Once you put that down in your notes, right, and we could talk about that on part 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think that is very important. I think it's very important because now we're talking about subtitles. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a series. We need to talk about that too. And so I think that's very important. We can talk about that. But any question that you want to ask me, feel free. You want to please, but
no, I mean, I think I'm cool now. I did an hour and a half. That's a lot for me.
Okay. So this is all right. Oh, hour and a half. Okay, this is what we're going to do. You already put it down for part 2, right?
Yes.
But we're gonna tell you this is how we're gonna close it up, right? I'm actually make your last remarks. You're gonna stay right there, you're gonna make my last remarks, then we're gonna close it up as a family. So I just want to say this thank you to take out your busy time to give us an hour and a half. And I really enjoyed it. I thought I got to know it because you're one of those women that's my sister, right? Anybody mess with her husband around, y'all don't worry about husband. All right. You don't think right? And he get up and everything. But I just want to let you know, thank you so much to enlighten us and let us know that's how a woman's supposed to act. The standard for what's right, no matter what gender it is.
Right.
And by your upbringing, it proven. They says no such thing. But I'm gonna let people know. Look at Sister Fields. She happily married more than a decade and a half. Right? With the work that she do. She in the community. And also, as a black man, besides, I could probably talk for your husband. We gotta fight for sisters like you because ain't that many women will fight for us as black men, our existence. We don't have that. So women like her, we gotta protect. We gotta make sure that you're okay. And so as for me, you can tell your husband this. I don't mind. You over here, I protect you. I make sure you good. That's how I was raised.
I believe that. Mm-hmm.
And then we got to get back doing that too. Protect the women that believes in us too, that believes of the family and understand that, and vice versa too. I ain't talking about the one to be no. You in the corner. No, you stay over there. Stay in your rotten seed over there. Over here, we building. And so, but you see this on the background, that's Virginia, that's Richmond, I just want to let you know I let you know represent. But last remarks, please.
First off, I just appreciate everyone in the chat, the family, for just coming through, for staying with us, for dropping any questions, for engaging. I appreciate you, great brother, for even asking me to be a part of your channel for this day and this moment and being on the panel with you. I definitely enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much for making sure that it was a comfortable moment that I was up here. And I look forward to being back again. And, you know, as I always say in my videos, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. And sometimes we have to be the change that we really want to see. So blessings to all of you.
Before I make my last remark, there definitely is a part 2 soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me know it's a good time now.
I will. I'll shoot you an email. Yeah.
Yeah, shoot me a good time, because I don't want to be far, long time stuff like that. Because what you said about 4 minutes ago, we gotta talk about that part too, because that's like a lie for itself. And we gotta talk about that. And also I want you to still come back too, because I'm gonna have people, we gonna talk about different stuff that I'm working on and stuff.
Okay.
And I want you to have your expertise of clinical, and stuff like, because we gotta have the women perspective of clinical too. Because some of these men, y'all think listen, I ain't trying to know about a woman. That's not me. I wasn't raised that way. God made me through my late parents being a man. So I'm operating as a man. I don't operate no funny boys. I don't know. My father called him funny boys. He said, listen, I don't. He said, only Frankfurt I know is mine. I don't play with nobody.
No,
my late father was he's from that south, so they come with some stuff. But I just want to know, it's an honor to do a chop up with you. At first, I was going to do a interview. I said, nah. Nah, she ain't no interview. Nah. So I want to do a chop up, and I'm glad that you asked me the questions. You had me thinking, and I really, really appreciate you as an individual.
Likewise.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I could say that this is great, and I cannot wait to do part 2, because part 2, y'all think it's powerful right now. Woo! Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. But I appreciate you. You have a blessed day. And this is the last of the Underrated Darkness, better known. No One Grind. It's the last of Sister Cat Fields. Will chop it up with me on the Darkness Roundtable. Hashtag the True 2025. And one only #1 grinder. Please support this young lady right here. She got great stuff from here. And then when I bring back the Underrated Boxing Talk, you will see her on there too. We're going to talk about boxing stuff. I will slowly but surely bring that back and stuff like that. And, I want you to get your perspective, because we talk about different stuff. But thank you.
Thank you. And I look forward to doing the part 2 as well. So blessings to you.
Blessings to you. Good morning. I don't know. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah. Wherever somebody is.
There you go.
All right, brother.
Have a blessed one.
Likewise. Bye.
Peace.